Okay, well, I found this and it fits perfectly with the theme because we're going to be talking about chakras and energy and being connected to the whole. And so this is titled Flowing. When your roots are receiving nourishment from the earth in the first chakra, your creative juices are flowing into the second. Your intentions are empowered in the third. Your heart is open and exchanging love with those around you in the fourth chakra. You are spontaneously expressing your highest self in the fifth. You are in touch with your inner voice in the sixth. Then energy moves into the crown chakra, and you remember your essential nature as an infinite and unbounded. The 1,000-petaled lotus flower unfolds, and you know yourself as a spiritual being temporarily localized to a body and mind. And that's a perfect segue. You know, this is actually sort of a dovetail onto the healing workshop we did last Sunday, where we were exploring sort of different ways of healing. And so obviously this can't be a whole workshop on chakras. So this is a little primer along with the wonderful chimes. And these are chakra chimes that are tuned to the frequencies of our different chakras. As opposed to the solfeggio, those are different frequencies. So first of all, who here likes music? Do you think of your body as an instrument? Some of you do. Some are like, not quite sure about that. So we are literally musical vibrational instruments. And we're going to explore this today with the help of Leslie. So thank you so very much for being here. Thank you, Leslie. So we've all heard that everything is vibration, including us, and that we are a collection of different frequencies that end up manifesting as our heart or as our liver, as our brains, and the totality of who we are. Science now knows that frequency and vibration creates geometry. Geometry comes together gravitationally and creates matter. And so that is, we are an expression of the vibrations within us. And the other thing that our body does is it acts as a speaker to the outside world of our very consciousness. And when I read that, I'm like, oh, that's a really great way to think of us carrying our consciousness around inside this body. So Tom, can you put up the first slide for me? So we actually have many bodies, 7 to be exact. We have our physical, our emotional, our mental, astral, etheric, and catheric, and they're all vibrational. We'll be focusing on the physical, but I wanted you to see this. This is how they're all stacked, sort of in rainbow colors. I have a couple friends that can spontaneously see auras. The majority of us can only see the little guy over here on the right. That's about what most of us can see. And all of these different levels of our vibrational bodies are connected to the 7 chakras. And that's why I wanted you to see this, that when we get our chakras in a line, our energy expands outward. You know, many of you know I have a new grandson who is absolutely glorious. And by the time he was about 2 or 3 years old, where they're really holding their eyes open and being able to stare at you, you know, like they look into your soul, I noticed that after he made contact and stared in my eyes for a while, he was scanning on the outside of me. And his eyes would just go up and around. And I know he was seeing this. I just know that we all come in with this ability to stay connected with the field of energy. So why should we even try to do this connecting to our chakras and everything? This allows us to be the bigger part of who we're meant to be. We end up feeling more alive, more centered, more peaceful, more in touch with our purpose, with a higher self. It's a great way to go into meditation, to hear those messages. So I think we've all heard the term chakras and maybe know some about them, especially if you've been to any of the other previous workshops. Today, we're going to do the overview. So first, I'm going to be introducing the chakras, and then Leslie will be chiming. I was first introduced to the idea of chakras back late 20s, early 30s. It was a real expansive time for me. Lots of meditation, and I found science of mind, and I was going through massage training. And it was in one of those workshops that I first felt a couple of them sort of pop open. And I was trembling and got very hot, and a surge of energy. And when that quieted down, I felt so much more alive and awake. And so I hope today will act as sort of a springboard for any of you that want to kind of look into this a little more deeply. So maybe the second slide.
Would we be able to see better with the lights out?
Perhaps we could see if I can see with the lights off.
Yes, that makes it much better.
Let's see if I can see. That's good enough. If not, I can wing it. So first, understand that the energy fields create our bodies, not the other way around. Our bodies don't create the energy fields. We interact, but the fields create us, and that comes from divine. And so as you can see, this is where the primary ones are located. You have lots more, but we're going to focus on these. So the first chakra, the root, is color red, and it vibrates to the note of C. Let's chime 3 times for that. So the focus of this one is that sense of belonging, of feeling really grounded, and of feeling accepted by your tribe. And I know most of us have had some early childhood wounds, and that a lot of us are still working with those issues. So as I go through these, I might mention, if you're having this, you might want to work on this chakra. And an affirmation that would help stabilize that chakra. There are lots of them, but just this one. I am stable, safe, and secure. And so the second chakra is the sacral chakra, sort of a red-orange color. And it resonates to the note D. This is one of our main creative centers. It is where we begin reaching out in childhood, creating friendships with other people, developing relationships, allowing ourselves to really express pleasure and fun, and our union with nature. And so if you're having any kind of issue in any of those areas, again, this could be a chakra that you might want to work on. We'll talk about that in just a second. So an affirmation for this one would be, I am open to others naturally. And let me show you that right now. Everybody's going to get a copy of this really beautiful chakra chart. If you've been to my workshops before, you probably already received a copy. I didn't want to hand it out first because we would all be looking at them, but they will be on the back table. And they go into a lot of detail about how if you think you're having an issue, these are some things that you can do to help you with that. So, third one, solar plexus, yellow. And it vibrates to the note E. So this is mainly a focus of personal power, sort of your standing in society. It's also a lot of mental activity. So a lot of your intentions, your conscious intentions come out of this sacral chakra. You feel them in other areas, but this is usually where they're kind of formed. And it creates an acceptance of oneself. So again, if you're having trouble in those areas, this might be one you want to work on, and you'll see on the chart. Affirmation might be, my personal power is growing stronger every day. And of course, the fourth chakra, heart. This is the transition between the lower three chakras are connected to the physical body, and the upper three are to spirit, and the heart is where it all comes together. So its color is green, and its note is F. So obviously this heart center, its main focus is unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, sharing. And an affirmation for this, I am an open channel for divine love. As we get closer, I can see you already becoming quiet. As we move into the meditation, it'll be I'll lead you into it, but then there's going to be a silent just chime meditation. So be sure all your phones are silenced before then. And if you're online, be sure that you're muted. Okay, the fifth chakra, throat. Its color is blue. And its note is G. Again, this one is sort of obvious. This is an ability to speak your truth. This is the other center of creativity for you. As you literally create into your world, you call it into beingness. It's a site of creative expression and of a sense of independence. And an affirmation for this one, I express myself freely and easily. And now the brow chakra, indigo, and its note is A. So this is the seat of inner vision, our inside mind, and some people say Christ consciousness. As you raise your awareness, you step into a different level of being. And all of these chakras grow throughout our lifetime. They're for different stages of our lives. But we can work on opening them up more fully to have a fuller flow of energy. And its color is violet. Its note is B. This is where the awareness, the unity with all that is, omnipresence, to sit in that peaceful place, divine wisdom and purpose. I am one with God and all of creation. So an example of how to use this. So if you're having a challenge in a particular area, later on, you can refer to the little chart here. And this, along with meditation and Qigong and all the other things that we do, are tools to help you become aligned and allow that energy to flow easier or completely. So let's say you have digestive problems. That would be under the sacral chakra here. And it has foods that you can eat, affirmations you can say, what the chakra crystals that you could use, and what gland in the endocrine system is controlled, and the note. So you kind of just look in your own body or your own life, where am I sort of having help it be easier for you to shift, for you to allow issues to come up and just resolve, to dissolve. And in that chakra,